Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Giant Take Podcast. I'm Josh, and it's time for our rankings. We continue in the 2026 NFL Draft rankings as hello, everyone, and happy April 1st. We're in April, we're in draft month. It's exciting stuff, and we're not going to waste any time and get into the top 5 interior linebackers in this year's NFL draft. A couple of them from The Ohio State University. Honestly, the best players at the linebacker position in this draft and at the wide receiver position are from Ohio State. Just an absolute Big Ten powerhouse. We'll get into them a little bit later. A couple of those guys, one of them specifically, you've seen mock drafted to the Giants at number 5 a ton. Will he reach that level? Will either of them reach that level of the Ohio State guys? We'll have to wait and find out, but they're later on in this video. All right. Let's start out the episode. We'll talk about number 5 on the interior linebackers. It's Jake Golday, Cincinnati senior, 6'4", 240 pounds. He's a first-team All-Big 12 in this past season. His pros, his athletic traits, he's described as a freak athlete with elite gazelle-like speed and range for his size, a versatile pass rusher. His edge rush moves in the backfield are very, very good, and provides a unique and effective skill set for an off-ball linebacker when blitzing. And then his physicality and size. He's 6'4", 240 pounds, has the size to take on block, shed, and play in heavy traffic. His cons, inconsistent in terms of diagnostic skills, so occasionally struggles to read plays, results in a delayed downhill trigger, especially early on in games. Also, his coverage. He's athletic enough to match well in man. His zone awareness, still a work in progress. His stats, he was actually at Central Arkansas in 2021 and 2022, so he's had a long career in college football. In 23 was his best season there, 84 tackles, 4.5 sacks, which then led him to transfers from Central Arkansas to his time where he now goes into the draft from 2 years at Cincinnati, where he had in 2024, 58 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 2 pass deflections. And then this year, an absolute stud of a year, 104 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 3 pass deflections. So Jake Golday, the Cincinnati senior, coming in at number 5 on the linebacker list in this year's draft. On to number 4, Anthony Hill Jr. We go to Texas. A junior, 6'3", 238 pounds, was a freshman All-American in 2023, a 2-time first-team All-SEC in 2024 and 2025, and a 2-time second-team All-American also in 24 and 25. His pros: elite run defense, diagnoses plays rapidly, attacks downhill with aggression, and possesses a strong tackling ability. He's also a versatile blitzer, so when he does blitz, he has a high impact when it comes to natural pass rush moves and his speed that disrupts plays that happen in the backfield. His high motor and athleticism as well is key. Exceptional range and closing speed, often described as playing with, quote, controlled aggression. Then we'll lead into his cons. Coverage inconsistency, shows some stiffness in hips, making it difficult to match up with a quicker tight end or even a running back out of the backfield in man coverage. And then a little bit of trouble handling blocks sometimes. He can struggle to get off blocks from guards and kind of some larger blockers, as he is only 6'3". I'm 6'2", but Anthony Hill, I guess, talking about Jake Golday beforehand, who's 6'4", and a couple players coming up are a little bit taller than him, but around the same height. But yeah, definitely when you're talking about guards who are like 6'5" and above, it's tough to get past him. So those are the cons for Anthony Hill Jr. Going into his stats, in 23, 67 tackles, 5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 2 pass deflections. In 2024, his best season, hands down, 113 tackles, 8 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 1 pick, 1 pass deflection. And this past season, 70 tackles, 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 interceptions, and 1 pass deflection. That is number 4. Anthony Hill Jr., the Texas. He's also a junior in college. Anthony Hill Jr., the junior from Texas. 6'3", 238 pounds. That brings us to number 3 on our list, C.J. Allen. He's from Georgia. He's also a junior. He's 6'1", 235 pounds. So actually a couple inches shorter than Anthony Hill Jr. is C.J. Allen, a 2025 All-American, also was a first-team All-SEC this season. His pros: elite run defender, ranked 12th among qualified linebackers in run defense with a 90.8 grade on PFF. Also led Georgia in tackles and run stops as well. He's got a high football IQ and instincts. He's quickly diagnoses plays and navigates the traffic to stop the plays behind the line of scrimmage before they even develop. And then his physicality and leadership, known as, quote, a leader of man or of men, with a tough physical presence and a strong locker room reputation as well. That goes into his cons now. Let's go into a couple of cons here. And it's just limitations in terms of physicality and coverage. So with physicality, obviously a lighter frame, he's only 6'1", so shorter arms and makes it hard to shed blocks when offensive linemen make contact with him. And then coverage. Struggles in man coverage against some athletic and taller tight ends as well. And then can also sometimes be overly aggressive, and that leads to overrunning plays. So it's just a couple limitations. I think that's also due to his size, because in terms of when he's 6'1", so going against blocks or guards or tackles trying to get into the backfield is a little bit tougher for him. And then also when on screen plays or what have you, where the guards and offensive linemen are pushing forward, he has trouble getting past them. And then the same thing when he's in man coverage and he's guarding tight ends. He's only 6'1", so a bigger tight end is probably going to have most of the time, not most of the time, but sometimes success against CJ Allen. So that's number 3. We will go into his stats now. Don't want to forget that. In 2023, he had 41 tackles, 1 sack, and 2 pass deflections. 2024, 76 tackles, 1 interception, 4 pass deflections, and then his best season came in his last season here in 2025, now 2026, but in the 2025 season, 88 tackles, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and 4 pass deflections. That's number 3, CJ Allen, the junior out of Georgia, on our list. And I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, I said, well, the 2 best linebackers in this draft class are both from the same school, which is just absurd, but they are. So both of the guys on defense are from the Ohio State University in terms of the linebacker position in this draft, which is just crazy that you rank them 1, 2, and they went to the same school, and their defense was absolutely electric. We'll start out with who we think number 2 is on our list. It's Arvil Reese from Ohio State, the junior, 6'4", 243 pounds, an All-American linebacker in 2025, was also Big Ten linebacker of the year as well. His pros: dynamic versatility. Reese is a true hybrid linebacker, edge rusher. He can play off ball as a linebacker in a Mike Will system, or even stand up as an edge rusher on the side against offensive lines, allowing for creative defensive deployment. His versatility is unbelievable, and it's really cool to see, and something obviously would be really cool for the Giants to have. Is it necessary when they have, apparently all these great edge rushers? Maybe not, with Abdul Carter getting drafted just a year ago, but moving on for his pros. The next thing for Reese: elite speed and range, possesses exceptional closing speed, allowing him to hunt down running backs and secure sideline to sideline tackles. And then his high motor run defense as well. Excels at diagnosing run plays quickly, using active, strong hands to shed blockers and finish tackles with high efficiency. Now his cons. He's got a body type that might be a little bit leaner. He's only 240 pounds for being 6'4", so sometimes he lacks the size defensively to have consistent dominant elite, to dominate elite offensive edge or offensive tackles from the edge position. So, not really also a pure linebacker either size. So it's kind of interesting. That's why he kind of has that hybrid of edge rusher along with linebacker. Doesn't really fit either 100%. But again, we're finding we're trying to nitpick in these cons because Reese is just such a great player. And then a raw pass rush technique. So he's 22% pressure rate, is high. He relies too much on speed and lacks a refined kind of repertoire with, his counters and hand fighting and trying to get past offensive linemen. And I think that's something that you can so develop in the NFL with just how good the coaches are in comparison. College level coaches, especially at Ohio State, are very good, I'm sure, but also you have veterans in the NFL that would help you out. And I wouldn't be, scared with the coaching staff that John Harbaugh has, has put together on the New York Giants. And then also with the veterans like Dexter Lawrence, et cetera, that are already on that defensive line, it wouldn't, like scare me. Oh, he would learn how to do passing techniques. Let's go into his stats a little bit here. In 2024, 43 tackles and a half a sack. And then in 2025, 69 tackles, 6.5 sacks, 2 pass deflections. That's number 2 on our list. Orville Reese out of Ohio State. He's a junior. And then number 1, and I mentioned in the beginning of the show, he's been linked with the New York Giants, talked about with the New York Giants getting picked in the first round throughout this entire process so far, and I'm sure it'll only continue in April. But my whole thing is he going to fall to the Giants pick? And that's Sonny Styles, also from Ohio State, a senior, 6'4", 243 pounds, literally the same exact height and weight as Reese. He's a first-team All-American in 2025, second-team All-Big Ten in 2024. And let's get into his pros. Elite athleticism and size. At the combine, he recorded a 43.5-inch vert, 4.46 40-yard dash, rare speed for a 200-plus pound defensive player. Versatility, capable of playing safety, slot, or linebacker. So both of these guys, Reese and Styles, versatility comes to mind with both of these linebackers. Safety, slot, or linebacker, allowing him to cover tight ends or even blitz or even cover a running back, whatever you want to have him do, or in zone coverage. Like this guy, he can really play wherever on the field on defense. He becomes what I have down in quotes as a cyborg type of player with high floor potential. So, I mean, literally, I guess he's just robotic with how good Sonny Styles is, and he's been labeled as a cyborg on the defensive end of things for a little bit now. And then a strong tackler, showed immense improvement in tackling, reducing missed tackles significantly in his final season of college football. His cons, a learning curve. I think, converting to safety, he's still learning the nuances of linebacker, converting from the safety position, I should say. Navigating inside traffic and reading offensive blocking schemes is definitely something that he can get used to. But again, that comes with time, and I think that comes with coaching in the NFL, learning from the veterans. And then over-aggression can sometimes overrun plays or get stuck into the box, which leads to missing assignments. But again, you're being nitpicky in these final 2 guys, these 2 linebackers from Ohio State, in terms of your cons heading into the NFL. Let's get into Sonny Styles' stats. In 2022, had just 9 tackles, and then it goes up from there. 2023, 53 tackles, 2 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass deflection. 2024, 100 tackles, 6 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 5 pass deflections. And then this past season, 83 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 interception, and 3 pass deflections. So all in all, we'll go through the top 5 again for the 2026 NFL Draft Inside Linebacker Rankings. Number 5, Jake Galday, the senior out of Cincinnati. Number 4, Anthony Hill Jr., Texas Jr. Number 3, CJ Allen, Georgia Jr., and then the 2 guys from Ohio State. Number 2, Orville Reese, the junior from Ohio State University. And then number 1, Sonny Styles, the senior out of Ohio State. And those are your top 5 linebackers in this upcoming NFL draft.